All right, Davey Todd. So, Spooyt Vayne.
Spooyt Vayne.
Do you know what that means?
No.
White spout. Look, because it's like a spout of water coming out, and it's all white because of the force. It's pretty beautiful, isn't it?
It's cool.
There's a metaphor in that for racing the TT, I think. I don't quite know what it is, but there's definitely a metaphor.
I like the idea of sliding down it instead. Like we were talking about on the way down. That looks better.
So there you go then. In terms of like adrenaline, you can't not be an adrenaline junkie to race motorbikes. But where else do you get your kicks from? Or can you not?
Anything.
Jump
like
out of a plane?
Genuinely anything dangerous, to be honest.
You jumped out of a plane?
No, I really want to though.
Bungee jump?
No, I really want to. I could have, and I think it's one of the highest. It's the highest bungee jump that's not off a bridge. And it's off Macau Tower. And the team wouldn't let me do it because the only time I could have done it was before the race, and they said you end up like dizzy for a few days after.
Right, yeah.
So like the head rush.
Would you have done it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It terrifies me, but like when you get your kicks from racing and the Isle of Man TT, it takes a lot to like get your blood flowing the same, like to get you excited. By anything else, it takes a lot.
Essentially, there's nothing you wouldn't do.
Honestly, I thought about this for a long time and thought genuinely like, what's the craziest thing I can think of doing within reason? You know what I mean? But sport-wise, like, yeah.
But if you race a TT, it doesn't get any more dangerous than that.
It's hard to get the same rush from anything, and it is just the ultimate rush, the biggest, best thing. And then genuinely after the TT, yeah, you find yourself being like, how do I get excited now by something else? Like BSB, I love racing BSB, but you go and sit on a grid at BSB after being at the TT and your heart's not going, you're not excited, you're not nervous, nothing. It's just like sitting at the desk in the office.
Do you think that gives you a hand in BSB, knowing that all those guys, that's probably their pinnacle, that's as scary as it gets for them, so they sit on the grid and they're like, shit, I'm nervous, whereas you're just like, you know what, yeah, easy come, easy go.
You know, like you actually need to be a bit nervous, a bit excited, because that gets you going. So I find myself always, the race after the TT, find myself trying to make myself excited to get going, to get like that aggression, the blood flowing and everything on the grid a little bit. And it's quite hard because you're just like, it's just not the TT.
It must be amazing to not fear anything.
I'm going to say not fear anything.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like you're willing to go right to the face of it all and go, nah, I'm going to have a go at this. Because it's going to be a buzz and it's going to be a rush. And most people would not even get on a motorbike, let alone try and do what you do on the TT.
But then in the same breath, I think I've always been like that. That's probably the part of the reason why I end up coming to the TT, because I've always loved any action sport, anything adrenaline fueled, just.
And is that because you've been brought up on it, or you sought it out? Did you go and find that out? That's you were like, that's my thing in school.
I was in bikes from a young age, but like any action sport I wanted to do as a kid, like we did free running as a kid for ages, and skateboarding and surfing and snowboarding. Like, I don't know, just I don't feel like there's. You don't really think of it. You go off piste or you get washed out and you could drown at sea like surfing, and you could be in an avalanche while snowboarding, but it just doesn't feel like it carries the same risk.
Do you worry that once you've done with your days of racing that you're never gonna feel that again? Do you even think about beyond the TT?
I don't honestly, I don't think about it, because for me, I think it's so far off. I hope it's a long way off.
Yeah.
I hope I've got a lot more years to come with the TT, and in my vision right now, I like obviously really good friends with John McGuinness, and see what he's doing now. He still loves it. You know, he's 50 odd years old and still absolutely loves racing, and people keep talking about him stopping, and we genuinely sit down and I'm like, do you want to stop? He's like, no, absolutely not. I love it. Still love it. Still what I've always done and what I love, and like I love that. Like that's so important to me, that I'm not in it for a job, for a career, because it pays good money, which it doesn't. I do it because I love it, and I never want that to change. I said if I stopped enjoying it, I'd stop doing it, but I can't see that
Well, that's the thing with John. Like, it's the only thing that is slowing him up, or for people to think that is it's simply his age.
A lot of people, you know, lately have sort of wrote him off a little bit. I genuinely never write him off because I go motocrossing with him and he rides a bike a lot. He's really bike fit.
Yeah.
He can ride a motocross bike around all day with me and Spooyt, and goes out enduro riding every week, and he spends a lot of time in the seat. So he's bike fit, and I'd certainly never write him off. Like you say, a couple of factors come in, a couple of breakdowns or what have you. You never know.
But for John to probably get on the podium or take a win, it's going to take someone like you to have one of those breakdowns or mechanicals. You're right there now. It's only your third time. Well, it'll be a fourth time in 2023. Do you feel like now is the time? Or are you worried about saying, yeah, it is the time, and either not performing or things not going your way?
Honestly, I always, every year, I've sort of had reasons of why I know I can do better. And last year for me was a really big anticlimax after the practice week that I'd had. I was messing around. I was just having fun. I wasn't trying to go fast. Like, team boss Clive Pritchard just kept telling me to have fun, so I kept going out there. Because it was still my third year, I wanted to just take it easy, learn. So I just enjoyed it and like had fun, was dragging my elbow and doing wheelies and stoppies and just genuinely things that make me smile when I'm riding a bike. So I did that, and the lap times were good. Like, I was in 132 mile an hour lap.
Yeah.
From pit lane in practice. And then race week, we had our difficulties with the tyre and what have you, and I lost confidence from then. So then all my results, I did get my first podium last year, but
Was that a bit of an anticlimax then?
Yeah, I never rode like I should have rode. Like in race week, even with a podium, I was a lot weaker than I was in practice, which it should be the other way around.
Yeah.
And I've had a year to get my confidence back. I just can't wait to go back. And I know even if I just go there messing around, not even trying to go for the win, not even trying to go fast, I know we'll be there or thereabouts. Honestly, I didn't feel like I was anywhere near where I can go to. The only time I've half gone was the last lap of the senior last year, and I was battling with Connor for the podium, and basically did the same lap as Hickey did, and he won the race on the last lap. With the conditions we had and stuff like that, I was pretty happy with another 132 lap. No, it's hard to say where you think you're going to be. I've had my first podium, and I want more of them. So I'll do my best and see how we go. When I'm enjoying riding my motorbike, that's when I do like my best riding. When I'm having fun, when I'm just like I've gone for a mess about with my mates, that's when I ride the best. And it's not that I don't like the pressure, because I like the pressure. Yeah. But I've got to be having fun riding my bike as well.
Last question, what's your predictions for 2023?
Honestly, I have no prediction. Like, everybody knows there's a lot of guys that are going to be in the mix. Yeah. Hickey and Dean are the guys to beat. Honestly, Hickey is the guy to beat, and Dean's strong. Connor's always going to be strong. Everybody seems to write Connor off, and every year, obviously my teammate as well, and another good friend. And I'm like, don't write Connor off. He'll just cruise around in practice, cruise around at all the races before the TT. And when it comes to racing at the TT, he just is a different man. So he won't be out the question. There's a lot of guys who are going fast. I want to be back on that podium and just doing better lap times than I did last year. So if we're doing anywhere near 132 plus, I hope we're going to be in the mix.
I've got a feeling it won't be long before you do win one.
I hope so.
No pressure.
I hope so. I'll be trying to.
Come on, mate.